New York's expensive, and finding ways to save money can have a big impact on how much you're able to do. The attraction passes get you discounted access to major sites in the city. Pick the right one, and you can save some dough. But if you choose wrong, you're wasting hundreds of dollars. My name is Rob, and I'm the founder of Kansu, a company that connects visitors to locals to share insider tips online. In this video, I'll take you through the process we use when we're helping people figure out which pass is best for them. And on this channel, I share travel tips to help you save money and maximize your time in the city. If that's interesting, subscribe to get updates as soon as we post videos. Okay, let's jump right in. So I looked online and it seems like there's a lot of different options for passes, but there's really only three. There's a city pass, a sightseeing pass, and a New York pass by Go City. All these passes sell tickets two different ways. There's an all-inclusive and a per attraction ticket. The all-inclusive is named slightly differently on each site, but it's basically the same idea. Now, the ticket for the New York pass is a little confusing because the website only shows the all-inclusive ticket. To find the per attraction ticket, go to the parent company, Go City, and then you'll find the attraction ticket that's called the Explorer Pass. The Explorer Pass is the per attraction ticket. Here's the tip. The per attraction ticket is always better than the all-inclusive. With the all-inclusive, you're paying for more than you can use, which is why they try so hard to push it. In order to make that ticket work, you need to know how much time you'll spend at each activity, how much time it takes for you to get from one activity to the other, and then plan your activities just perfectly so that you can reserve times to just so that you can break even. And then you have to plan all that around other things that you want to do. When we take visitors that have bought the all-inclusive ticket through the process, they save an average of $340. That's real money that you can use on entertainment, restaurants, and other local experiences. If you've already purchased the all-inclusive ticket, watch this until the end, get our process, and then contact the company and change your ticket type. They will let you change your ticket if you contact them before you activate it. And again, it's a very simple three-step process I'll walk you through. Start with step one. Step one, remove the stress. A lot of people buy these passes under stress. They either buy last minute, assuming it'll be easier than planning, or they buy when they're at a site and they don't have a chance to research the pass. Either way, if you're feeling stressed and you're thinking about buying the pass, don't. Take a breath. You're more than likely going to lose money. Remember, these passes do not make your reservations. You still need to plan your days. The passes make it easier to enter, but they don't give you access to VIP or enhanced experiences, like the crown at the Statue of Liberty or the beam at the top of the rock. You need to purchase those separately. And these passes are digital, so there's an unlimited supply. It's not like making restaurant reservations where you need to get in to reserve a limited number of seats. If you're feeling stressed, take a breath, then move to step two. Step two, make a list. Make a list of all the things that you want to do. Look, you're coming to New York for a reason. Maybe it's a birthday celebration, a family trip, an anniversary, a bucket list, or a business trip, and you're just going to add on a few days. Whatever the reason is, there's some things that you like and some things that you want to do when you're here, and you need to keep sight of that. Talk to your travel group. Ask them what do they want to do in New York, and then start to write that down. Once you get your list organized, you can group it into three different buckets: attractions, local experiences, and then food. I'm going to use a recent customer's wish list as an example. This is Stacy's list. She was visiting New York from the UK with her husband and her two teenage kids. They were coming in April for 5 days. And you can see how she has her activities listed. She also doesn't try to name everything. She just lists a description for some things like hot dog and bus tour, for example. So that's perfectly fine. It's okay if you don't know everything when you're putting this together. What's important is that you know what you're looking for. And as long as you have that, that's going to keep you focused on what's most important and help you from wasting money on things that look nice at the time, but you don't really want. Once you have your list, you're ready to move to step three. Step three, compare your list with the past list and look for as much overlap as possible. If you've done steps 1 and 2, this is the easiest step of them all. Let's review Stacy's wish list, and I'll give you a few tips as we go. The City Pass is just focused on attractions. So if you grouped your activities together, this is the easiest one to start with. Okay, so let's go through the City Pass and count how many activities are on our list. All right, they have the Empire State Building, Museum of Natural History, and Top of the Rock. That's 3. They also have the Statue of Liberty, but this is just ferry access. This doesn't get us to the crown. So this will only get us to the pedestal. That's not what we want. None of the other activities are on our list. So for the City Pass, it's only 3 activities. The good thing about the City Pass is they do have a ticket that includes 3 attractions. But let's take a look at the other passes and see how they add up. Now let's look at the Go City Pass. The Go City Pass has attractions and tours. They also have local experiences. But the local experiences are always expensive, so I don't recommend using a pass on these activities. It's better to just go to the small businesses themselves. Okay, so let's go through our list. We have the Empire State Building, Top of the Rock, Museum of Natural History. That's 3, same as the City Pass. There is a Central Park bike tour. And I will say, biking through Central Park in April is a great idea. The cherry blossoms are in bloom. The weather's great. It's nice to be out in the park on the bike. But at $57 and $63, these experiences are overpriced. Because look, there are city bikes that you can rent for a lot less than $57. And the nice thing about the city bikes is you can use them in the park and outside the park. In fact, anywhere in the city. So you can rent the city bike, maybe at the southern end of the park, ride through the park, and then take it to your next activity or take it to lunch and then drop it off there. So we wouldn't recommend using the pass to bike through Central Park because you're just going to waste money. Instead, rent the local city bike for just $5 per person, and that saves you $52 per person or $208 in total for a family of 4. That's already a huge savings. There's also a Madison Square Garden tour, which is actually really good. But since Stacy is here in April and she wants to go to a sports game, so there are Knicks games in April, and you can just go to a Knicks game instead. Now, let's do a search for bus tours and see what we can find. The bus tours are interesting. There's a few options here. Most people enjoy the hop-on, hop-off bus tour, and it's great to do that on your first full day to get a feel for the city. That's not what's listed on this plan, so we will not give the Go City Pass credit for a bus tour, okay? We're going to hold off on that. Let's see what else we have. There is a Harlem Gospel Tour here. There's 2 options. So now it's really just a matter of figuring out how this fits into our day. Personally, I can tell you that Sunday in Harlem is very special. There's a lot of churches and brownstones in Harlem. And that's really when you get the full local experience of being in Harlem is when you go on a Sunday. But again, it all depends on how your days work out. Okay, so for the New York Pass, we have 4 options. Let's move on and take a look at the Sightseeing Pass. The Sightseeing Pass has a Central Park pedicab tour, but we've already decided that we're going to take a local bike, so we don't need this. There's the Empire State Building. There's the rink at Rockefeller Center, but this is not Top of the Rock, okay? So they don't get credit. Museum of Natural History. And there is a big bus tour here. This is the hop-on, hop-off bus tour. Now, this ticket costs $87. And if we compare it to the big bus site, you'll see that that includes the uptown and downtown tour. I will say that the downtown bus tour is the better of the two options. And if you buy directly from the big bus website, it costs $60 per person for the downtown tour. So you can save $17 per person or $68 in total for a family of four. See how the savings just keep adding up? Okay, that's two activities so far. Let's see if they have the Harlem Gospel Tour, and they do. So that brings us to three. Make sure to look at the timing for these tours to see how everything fits in to your schedule before booking. Remember, these tours are offered on specific days, right? And if you're not here for the day the tour is listed, you're not able to do the activity. Again, this goes back to why the all-inclusive is never the best option. Now, when we look at our totals, it's easy to see which pass to choose. The City Pass and the Sightseeing Pass both have three activities on our list. But the New York Pass or the Go City Pass has four. And that's pretty common. Over 57% of our customers wind up going with the Go City Pass. And when we take them through this process, it's easy to figure out which pass to purchase. If you're doing this on your own, there's a few things to keep in mind. The per attraction ticket is always best. Do not buy the all-inclusive ticket. And when you're trying to figure out how many attractions you should buy, remember the three steps. Step 1, remove the stress. Step 2, make a list. Step 3, compare. At Kontu, we create tools to help visitors plan their trip their way. And we provide collaborations with locals to share insider tips online. If you'd like tips for your next trip, feel free to reach out. You'll get matched with the best available experienced designer within 24 hours based on your travel profile. And if you've just returned from a trip and you've used one of these passes, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear how things went, and it's useful to share the information with others. If you have questions, we're always here to help. Enjoy New York, and let's go Knicks!